They have a $160 million operating deficit, but they also have is it a $5 or a $6 billion? It's a $5 billion debt because they've inherited some of the big dig debt. Right? So, and the MBTA folks can answer that question. So we're faced with, in other years in a more prosperous time, I remember back in the late 1990s, when we had prosperity, when we had an economic boom, when we had in the state's coffers, because of everybody was working and contributing taxes to the state system, we had an extra $1 billion a year for a couple of years running because we had money coming in galore. We ended up putting, over the course of that period of time, $3 billion in a rainy day fund, and a lot of that money has been used up. So now we're faced with the fact that the T runs annually at a deficit, not because there's bad management there, but again because they provide the service at a reasonably reasonable cost.
We know the $161 million, Senator Hart did a great job in terms of explaining it and breaking it down. In the end, we are going to need a long-term plan. A long-term plan on how we're going to address the $161 million. There's always a deficit. So how is it that we're going to try to rectify that?
The things that I've heard a lot about is simply why don't we look to just find other ways to get money in government. And the thing that I keep hearing the most about is why not do a gas tax. So I wanted to at least just address the gas tax revenue issue, and then we can of course look at other ways as well. So the challenge with the gas tax is I would be a person who would be very much in favor of a gas tax, but I just don't think it's something that we can get done in the legislature. We are in an election year, so that does matter. And so there has been just a major push to not have any more taxes in any nature on the folks of the Commonwealth.
And a lot of people have a lot of important things that they also want to share.
Your number 6.
Despite congested highways, a growing carbon footprint, increased pollution, and the governor's commitment to go green, the MBTA wants to cancel weekend commuter rail service. Well, let me ask you to think of the elderly widower relocated 40 miles to find affordable, quality assisted living. He is unable to drive, and his sole joy in life is visiting his only daughter and grandson and attending Sunday service at his hometown church. With working 2 jobs, the daughter only has Sundays off and can barely make ends meet, let alone afford to buy a car. Without weekend trains, this grandfather will be devastated. Do you want this on your conscience? I know I don't. If the T isn't moved by ecology or emotion, maybe it'll be moved by employment and economics. Gone forever are the days when all jobs are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Also gone is the option to refuse weekend jobs that are not within walking distance. If people lose jobs because they can't work a schedule that includes Saturday and or Sunday, their only option will be unemployment. Aren't we trying to get people off the dole and back to earning a living and paying taxes? Seems to be a step in the wrong direction.
Where are you from?
How you doing? My name is Colin Diaz. I'm a community organizer for Garden Square, NBC. I'm here on behalf of the organizers throughout Dorchester, Dorchester Bay, Hyde Park CDC, and NBC. For the last 3 weeks, we've been doing a massive push throughout all the train stops, Mattapan, Hyde Park, Ashmont, and we've been doing a big push on with the teens. Raising fares for teens and seniors is not really going to fly. We're in a recession. We've been in a recession for over 4 years. To raise prices from 40 cents for seniors to 125 is kind of ludicrous. It's ridiculous. One of our main things, I actually got on the bus at Mattapan Square for the 33. 33 is one of the bus lines that they're actually trying to get rid of. If that bus line gets taken out of it, it goes through Georgetown, the back of Georgetown. Folks would have to basically either catch cabs or be doing a lot of walking. So I'm here on behalf of the organizers, fighting for the teens fares not to go up, and I'm fighting for the seniors fares not to go up. Thank you very much.
Service and a fare increase at the same time, frankly, is what many of us are being offered. But what we need to be doing is demanding that our legislators support increased funding for the T now. We're in the meeting. I know know it's going to take a little time. We're in the middle of a legislative session where stuff may or may not happen this year. But in the meantime, the short-term solution is not to hit the most vulnerable people the hardest.
You come to the public and you say, well, we really tried everything and we're really doing everything that we can do. I don't think so. How about cutting some of your salaries? Legislators doing some of their little extras that they get.
The reason I don't support increasing fares on our bus service is because it's a form of a very regressive tax. It's going to hit fixed income folks, low income folks harder than it's going to hit those who have a higher income.
Good evening, my name is Robert Brzezowski. I live in Milton and I take the Mattapan high-speed trolley line, the red line, I take the green line, I take the silver line to Logan. I sometimes take buses. And I'm sure all the T representatives here, they've been to hearings like this one, and we're near the tail end of them, where they've heard people say, don't cut my line, don't cut this line. I'll say don't cut any service at all. This state, this metropolitan area needs public transportation.
At all. That's a dead zone over there. There's no way for anyone to be able to get to that school. So you're going to do a lot of damage to those families who are there. And you'll see our enrollment in that school dissipate because there will be no public transportation on the weekends to be able to participate in the family activities that we provide.